And welcome back to Lantern Corps. And today we are talking about Optimus Prime, brought to us by Marcus Kane and Joseph McDuff. And what Lantern Corps does Optimus Prime belong into? Now, Optimus's character can vary a little bit depending on which interpretation you go. Like the Michael Bay version of Optimus is not the same type of Optimus you get in the original like G1 series or in the later reboots or in the comics. And all those they're all the same character, but there are some varying traits to them. But given who Optimus overall is as a character and as a person, I think I can figure out which core I believe he belongs into. But with that being said, let's get on with it. Green Lanterns are obviously an obvious choice right from the get. Optimus is millions of years old, has been the leader of the Autobots for God knows how long. He has been a leader. He has overcome the Decepticons, Unicron. I'm sure I don't read the comics, but I know there have been other threats besides them. And he's overcome all of those. He's someone who does not shy away from fear. He's someone who does not bat an eye in the face of intense evil. He is truly the embodiment of will and good. That's not to say he can't be a mean son of a bitch too. No, when Optimus loses his cool and he goes ham on some people, Optimus will F you up. Optimus is a warrior, man. But Optimus is honestly, I don't hate the Transformers. The movies are, I'm not talking about the movies. I mean the general concept and the premise and stuff like that, and the the characters in the world. I don't hate Optimus or Transformers really at all. I actually like the Transformers. I actually grew up on Beast Wars more than I do Transformers. That's where my Optimus came from. Not this. I look at this Optimus. Not my Optimus. Give me a gorilla, man. Yeah. But no, Optimus is actually a pretty cool character. So, yeah, obviously, the Green Lantern Corps, or Will, would probably be a very apt Corps for him. But likewise, there would be another one that's pretty apt for him. But let's talk about one that, going from one that I think he's a shoo-in for, to one that, let's talk about the argument for. Yellow Lanterns. Now, to be a Yellow Lantern of fear, you don't need to feel fear. You need to inspire great fear. Now, when you're dealing with individuals like Megatron or Unicron per se, or like a Shockwave, they're more angry and evil. Like they are more what's the best way to put it? They don't fear Optimus, but they recognize how big a threat he is. But at the same time, when you are as well known and as powerful and as influential as Optimus is, you would have to be inspiring a lot of fear in your enemies, I'd have to imagine. So ultimately, I would say fear could work for Optimus, but it's not one of those Lantern Corps I think is a real definitive one. Like, I wouldn't choose it over Green. But what I might choose over Green is the Lantern Corps of Hope, Blue. Because you want to talk about someone who inspires people, ultimately. Inspires, his soldiers, inspires people, inspires the humans, inspires just about everyone. Then it would definitely be Optimus. I mean, he's lived for millions of years, led the Autobots, been basically a messianic figure, and really you can't do that without inspiring hope. So yeah, Blue would definitely be a good option for him as well. Now the debatable, this is the real debatable one. The White Lantern Corps of Life. Now, the Autobots, all the Cybertronians, I think that's what they're called, are sentient machines. Therefore, they first off should be able to get a ring regardless. But because they're sentient machines, they're living machines, basically, they should qualify for a being that's alive, aka the Lantern Corps of Life. Add on to the fact that Optimus is millions of years old, there's a good chance that because of that, it would make him a more likely candidate for the Lantern Corps of Life. The only problem with it is he's he's taken lives before. In fact, he's killed a lot of people in war, a lot of enemies in war. So it's one of those things where he's got a lot going for him when it comes to the whole idea of being a Lantern Corps member of life. But that fact that he's taken a lot of lives on his own has really, I think, really hurts his chances of being a White Lantern. I think that does really ultimately negate it, unfortunately. But again, the argument I think could really be there ultimately that he could be a White Lantern, because it's really about your actions overall. Once you get the White Lantern ring, are you alive? Have you been around for a life? Have you been trying to nurture and protect life, which Optimus ultimately has been doing? So I think White could be a good option for him. It's just that unlike with the blue and the green, there are things that kind of negate how qualified he is for the White Lanterns. Now I didn't add it to the list because I completely forgot about it. But Optimus has died before, also, particularly in the movie. So, it's possible he could be a Black Lantern, but I really wouldn't peg him as a Black Lantern, if I'm going to be honest. It just doesn't fit. He only died, I think, the one time, maybe a few other times, but it's not really one of those scenarios where he's embodied death. He's died so much. It's not like Jean, who's died so many times. She could literally be the embodiment of death. So yeah. Ultimately, I think it really comes down to the blue and the green. Between those, honestly, I'd actually probably lean more towards the blue. Not to say that he couldn't qualify for green almost as equally, but ultimately, I think blue just works with better. He's acted as a leader, a messianic figure for millions of years. And you don't do that for millions of years without being able to inspire a great amount of hope in people and your people. So whoever those people may be. So ultimately, yeah, I think I'm gonna go blue on this one. But what do you guys think? You think it's blue, green, white, black, yellow, or is there an argument for any of the other corps that I did not mention? Put it in the comments below and let me know. But until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review at some point. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you later. God, excuse me. Sorry, I just had breakfast. I still got to do the what if I didn't do on Saturday just because work and Halloween and on Sean Connery passing. May he rest in peace. May he rest in the halls of Valhalla, man. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.